Hey and welcome to Pika. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can embed AuthKit into your own app to collect your customer's integration information. AuthKit is Pika's embeddable component to handle multi-tenant auth. That means you can use it in your app whenever you need your customers to connect any sort of integrations to your own app. If you're in the Pika dashboard, you can click Add Connection and see AuthKit in action here. For the sake of this demonstration, I've created a Next.js application. I want the functionality that when I click the Add Connection button here, AuthKit will pop open and prompt my user to connect their Exa account. So we can start off here in the documentation for AuthKit. So the first step is to install the AuthKit token generator package. Let's copy this and go into our app. Great. Now, we're going to go to step 2 and set our Pika API key as an environment variable. So if you go to the Pika dashboard and click on API keys, you can create a new API key. And let's copy this. We'll call it the Pika secret key. And head on to the next step. The next step is to create an API endpoint that's going to generate a token for us. This token is what the front-end AuthKit package is going to use to create a connection. So let's go ahead and copy this code snippet. I'm going to create a new API endpoint. Here we can see that the token gets created and it gives us options to pass an identity and identity type. The identity type can be one of a few things. You can set it to be the user, team, organization, or project. The identity then becomes a label that you can use, something meaningful when you need to filter your connections later. A lot of times people will use a user ID that ties to the user ID in your system. So for this demonstration, let's just call it user ABC. Now the next step is setting up the AuthKit front-end package. So if we go back into the documentation, we can see that we need to install the AuthKit client package. Let's copy this. Here I'm going to copy the code snippet to export the open function that we're going to use when the button is clicked. This is the URL that we hit for our endpoint that generates our token here. And let's go to the button we want to use as our trigger button. Let's go ahead and run the app. Now when we click on the Add Connection button, we can see that AuthKit opens up, but we don't see any integrations in here. This is because we need to enable which ones we want visible inside the Pika dashboard. So if you head into the AuthKit section, here you can see a control page for every integration you want visible in your AuthKit pop-up. I'm going to go ahead and search for Exa, and I'm going to enable Exa. Now, if the integration you wanted to enable was an OAuth integration, you would simply configure the app by passing in your client ID and client secret, and then toggling it on. You can also select whatever scopes you would want enabled for that integration. Since Exa uses an API key, we don't need to do that right now. If we go back into the app and refresh, we can see here that Exa is available. Let's go ahead and connect to it. We've connected successfully, and now if we go into the Pika dashboard and head into our connected integrations page, we can see here that Exa was created and we have the label of our user ID added to it as well. Now, if we wanted to list all the connections that a specific user has access to, we can do that using the list connections endpoint. So in the Pika documentation, I'm in the API reference and I'm in the list connections action. I'm going to give this a try here. So I've got my Pika secret key, and I'm going to filter the identity by user ABC. Here we can see that Exa popped up, which is the connection that belongs to that user. So there you have it. We were able to easily set up AuthKit in our app in a few minutes to be able to collect our customers' integrations. Happy building!